fil rouge. The fil rouge is a little something that is a continuity. You see the art of making building. Yeah, that's a title. The art of making building. Technology. Technology is not a dirty word. It's good. It's what you need. Even if a piano player knows how to touch the piano to make good music, you need technology. You need technique. The Greek useful technique that is more novel. But that's what you need. So you have the art of making building. But for what and for whom? Well, that's another big point. So you will realize that all those buildings are public. Airport, museum, hospital, school, university. And this is very simply because I love making public buildings. Public buildings are for people to gather, to stay together. It's about society. That's why building, the art of building, meet the art of making building for people. The mad idea that architecture can, in some way, change the world. And I know this mad, because architecture doesn't change the world. The world changed by itself, by big shift. By the way, not easy to swallow. Not easy to swallow. Architecture, it's celebrating those changes. It's actually giving a shape to those changes. So those buildings, some way, represent that. Represent a change in society that became building. That's what the architect does. Architect been trained to change the world in that sense, and not to seduce people. That is sad, something else. So this is what this exhibition celebrates. And also I hope that you will find here and there, in this magnificent place. I have to say, my colleague David Schipper made a very good job. This is beautiful, beautiful. Look at the airy atmosphere of this space. Beautiful. So I hope you will find also something that is not construction, is not society. I don't know how to call it. Poetry, maybe? Yes, maybe. Poetry. It's difficult to talk about poetry. Poetry is one of those things that goes away as soon as you talk about that. Yeah? Like silence. When you talk about silence, you break silence. Poetry is a very delicate thing to talk about. But yes, poetry is needed. Because when you do a building, you give a message. Well, there are many different ways to give message. By writing, by making movie, by making music. One system is by making building. Yes, building tells stories. And if the story is not told in a poetic way, forget it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You need something that is subtle, that is poetry. You can call lightness, transparency, call as you like, but it's something that is difficult to reach, sometimes impossible, sometimes you can reach, but just by fragments. And I hope this will be visible. So, what else I can say? I mean, thank you for coming. Thank you, Royal Academy. It's fantastic. I'm so pleased that we will never move away from this place. It's a very funny place because, no, I don't mean the Royal Academy. This exhibition, because it's somewhere between a library reading room and the National Science Museum. Those things are like animals. So it's somewhere between those two things. You will be surprised by looking at chairs. We have been discussing a lot about that. But I love the idea that apart from this moment, a bit crowded, but I love that idea that for months, I don't remember how many months, people, how many? 3. 3 months, okay. months we will have people coming, sitting, and enjoying, just staying there, watching around, absorbing. So this is an exhibition that you can actually live in a kind of quiet way, just in dialogue, in the silent dialogue with yourself. So thank you for coming. I guess you want to ask a question, I guess?
I do. By the way, 5 months. You've got 5 months. Sorry, I said 3. It's usually 3.
5 months?
We run till middle of January, so it's a good time.
5 months?
See, we just gained 2 months. Well, no.
For 5 months you can come back here, sit there, and stay there for 5 months.
I have a feeling, Renzo, that it won't ever be empty. But I love your idea about silence and poetry. So why don't we hand the microphone to Kate and let the poetic relationship that's developed between you and her and the studio and your and the Royal Academy, let her start to explain that, and then the two of you can take us around the show. All right, it's Kate then.
I think we're giving Renzo a break. Yeah. It's interesting. Much of what I was going to say, Renzo has already said, and I think it does speak very much of the close conversations we have been having over the past 3 years, and very intensely over the past 2 years. And so it's slightly strange to almost echo those, but I do hope that people coming to the show get a sense of this dialogue that comes out, because it has been one over sort of every object, how we talk about the projects. And Renzo really did say that he wanted people to walk out with a sense of the fil rouge. And I have been in the show over the last 2 weeks and installing it, and it felt as though he was ever present with us. And I mean, I guess for me, something that really does distinguish him from a lot of architects is there isn't a building that you walk up, there isn't a single style. There is things he returns to. Buildings feel like a Renzo building, but not because of their form or not because of certain things that come about. They continue to surprise, and I hope that people who come to the show who might know the Shard will be surprised by his work and by the breadth of the work. And this fil rouge is something about the aspiration for lightness. He talks so beautifully about it. It's strange to be standing next to you, in the film there, about defying gravity, about lifting buildings from the earth and creating spaces beneath. And the first thing you do in coming to this show is you look up and you see the celebration and the poetry in construction. The whole idea of what Renzo has talked about in the civic purpose of architecture, the idea of the chairs is to bring people together. So I hope that visitors will have that. I should say that also something I find, and if I do it, is an undeniable curiosity. And you see it in these early projects of how he sought ideas about construction. And he turns, and I say this, 81 on Friday, and that level of curiosity remains. It's an inquiry, it's a desire to work with people, it's a desire to find out what is happening with technology today, what is happening with the possibility of building. And I think that that's quite a nice way to sort of start the show. The show is organised, as you may well have seen if you've been in around 16 projects. The projects range from his very early works, what he calls his prehistory before the Pompidou Centre, right up until 2 buildings on site today, which we felt was very important. There's the office with 150 staff based in both Genoa and Paris, 10 partners, continue to have an incredible portfolio of work. And we wanted to show the kind of the energy that was there in the 1960s that remains there and that we can look forward to seeing coming to fruition. They are across the globe. They're different typologies. I think also buildings that are quite close to Renzo's heart. I think when I was reflecting on why they're here, I think they feel as though they're ones that have been special for various reasons. They are arranged roughly chronologically to give people a sense of an introduction to the works as they move through. The central room is a place where it is, as Tim says, sort of Renzo's mind. It's a place to get proximity to him. But it has both the sort of reflection. There's a lovely film that we've commissioned by Thomas Radelsmeyer, especially for this. It's sort of outside view of looking at him. There's also surrounded by photographs by the journalist Gianni Berengo Jardine, who has been photographing Renzo's work since this big work we see here at the Pompidou Centre, holding the exhibition there right up until today. So I don't know if I might take you round a little bit. I think Renzo
I want to say one more word.
has got one more word. Okay.
Renzo, do you
Oh,
want to say
yeah.
Sorry.
No, two quick things I forgot to tell you. Out of the door, in the street, there's a piece of bamboo. You will see. It's red. You can't miss. That piece. But the real one, I took a piece from bamboo, from Paris, and I brought to London. Not quite. But almost. It's a piece of the beam of the food. And the reason why we did this is because it's totally mad. It's totally out of scale. You understand? Beaubourg was the funny thing to do. In the center of Paris, you land with a spaceship, and that spaceship lands in Paris. But that little red piece is a little fragment of that building landing in London. And why I'm talking about that? Because I want to dedicate that piece to Peter Rice. Peter Rice is a film director. He is still a great engineer, fantastic person. Peter's been working with me and with us on this job, on that job, on that job. It's a kind of existing soul of this. Architecture and engineering meet. They are the same thing. Even construction is the same thing. That's why I love to be called a builder in that sense. Because building is to be architect, engineer, and builder all together. It's difficult to separate. And Peter was the perfect president for that. And Peter is not here with us. So I wanted you to stop in the street, watch the red thing, and say that a piece of Peter Rice. The other thing I have to say, but I don't want to take too much. I know that everybody is curious to know about the bridge in Germany. And you know, I'm touched about that because it's a terrible thing. I was touched about the fact that all the world, England, France, America, everybody was touched by this, by bridge falling. Because the bridge falling is not just a bridge falling, it's much more than that. First bridge, it never should fall. Never. Never. Because the bridge do a good job. Walls made a bad job. And that moment, that 14th of August, a bridge fall. And at the same time, walls were going up everywhere. In Europe, everywhere. Metaphorical and real walls. That's terrible. That's terrible. And the bridge should never fall, but when it falls, fall twice. It falls because it goes down with the victims, with the sorrow, with terrible things. And the second time follows because it's a symbol that follows. It's a symbol of connection. A bridge is about connecting. It's about holding together, physically, symbolically, mentally, socially. It's terrible. So the reconstruction of that bridge is a fundamental part. I'm trying to do myself what I can. And of course I can, because I'm from Genoa, I know that. And it will happen. And you know, my hope is, I said before, site are always magic moment. Construction sites are fantastic. I got a fantastic site in my life. In Berlin, after the wall fall in Berlin, we got 5,000 people to the same site. Of those people, only 500 were German. The other one were coming from all around the world. Well, by miracle, that place that was the theater of the war's lack of tolerance in the history, of modern history, in the history of last century, became suddenly a place of solidarity because making all people together. There's a miracle. It's called pride, to do something together. So I hope that this moment of construction will become a moment of pride. I'm pretty sure this will happen. So I talk about that really because I want to thank everybody for the expression of sorrow, an expression of participation that all the entire world made on that tragedy. Thank you.
Thanks, Renzo. Thank you.